Remember, George, no man is a failure who has friends. You may have heard this quote before, but may not be familiar with where it comes from. It's a Wonderful Life is about an angel named Clarence who is sent from heaven to help a desperately frustrated, suicidal businessman named George, who wishes he has never been born. The angel is able to show him what life would have been like had he never existed. By looking at the themes of loyalty, family, and friends, we can get a better idea of just how wonderful this film is. The first theme we'll look at is loyalty. George Bailey really is the symbol for loyalty. He's especially loyal to his family, his business, and to his town of Bedford Falls, even though he feels that it is a small hick town. When his father passes away, he decides to take over the building and loan his father owned, because if not, then the town Scrooge, Mr. Potter, would run it into the ground. His actions in stepping up and doing this shows how loyal he was. Even though George had big plans of his own, he remained in the town to carry on the family business. Mr. Potter even goes to try and buy him out by offering him a huge salary, and he almost takes it, but realizes in doing so, everything would crumble. This sacrifice also shows his loyalty to himself and his morals. Another clear sign of loyalty can be seen with his many customers. Many of the townspeople, like himself, were poor and struggling. And through the course of the movie, you can see many times where the customers weren't able to pay back their loan, and he accepted that. Even though he feels like all his loyalty has only gotten him feelings of failure and suicidal thoughts, he continues to remain loyal. But how can a man who remains so loyal to his family possibly think of killing himself? I feel the answer to this question is George, like many of people, has gotten into a rut. He's had to put all of his dreams aside to do the right thing, and he still feels like it's not enough. He feels like if he ends his life, then his family and loved ones would be better off without him. Luckily for him, the town is also loyal to him, and they have all prayed for him, and an angel is sent down to save him right as he jumps off the bridge, which leads us into the theme of family. George has what most would see as the perfect family. He has a beautiful and supporting, loving wife named Mary and 4 great kids. What people don't see is that the marriage is strained from financial stress and really his own self-doubt. Mr. Potter, on the other hand, has no family, and I think that's why he is so bitter, because he's all alone. Eventually, George is able to realize just how lucky he is with having his family, and they're the ones who really pull him through the crisis. Also, by looking at what he has done for his father and keeping his memory and name alive shows the significance of family throughout the movie. At the end of the day, nothing is more important than family, and maybe if Mr. Potter would have had someone to lean on and love as well, he could have found happiness. Lastly, we will discuss the theme of friendship, which I think is the strongest element of the movie. If you think you have a lot of Facebook friends, I can imagine what George's would have looked like. He was a kind and generous man, and the town all loved him. On Christmas Eve, George's uncle goes to deposit money into the bank, and it ends up getting stolen by Mr. Potter, who sees the chance to take over the town. George knows that this will make him end up going to jail over the matter and losing everything. So that's when he decides to take his life. While he is at his lowest point in his life, his friends come through for him through prayer, which leads to the angel coming to rescue. And also, right as he's about to be arrested for bank fraud, the town pulls together and donates more than enough money to get him out of trouble. Because of his friends always being there for him, he can see that it is a wonderful life indeed. I think the reason this movie is so popular around the holidays is it's a lovely reminder that we're all connected and we all affect people's lives in so many ways. George was able to see just that by being shown a life without him. His wife ended up single, his brother died because George wasn't there to save him, the town turned to slums, and his uncle went into a insane asylum because he wasn't there to look after him. Sometimes we just need a reminder that our life is important no matter how insignificant we feel. By looking at George's loyalty, his family support, and the friendship with the town, we can see his transformation of going from a self-doubting, suicidal man to a humble and appreciative man. Who finally gets the purpose of his life, and what a wonderful life it was. Thank you.